But Mike Vrabel, Patriots head coach, was at the league meeting in Phoenix and was asked about all of this chatter surrounding A.J. Brown potentially going to New England.
We've talked about this since last January. We're going to try to do everything we can to strengthen our roster through the draft, through free agency, multiple ways of player acquisition. So anything that we can continue to do to strengthen the roster, we're going to try to do.
So, Freddie, he's not ruling out the possibility that A.J. Brown could be in New England. Does it feel inevitable to you at this point that that's where we're going to see him play in 2026?
Well, it's inevitable to me that he's not going to be a Philadelphia Eagle after June 1st because of the economics. If they try to trade him before June 1st, that's over $40 million in dead cap money. If they wait until June 1st after that this year, then the dead cap money can be spread out under $20 million over 2 years. So I think it's inevitable that A.J. Brown is going to be traded, but it's going to be more of a summer house thing and not a spring cleaning thing involving the Philadelphia Eagles moving on from A.J. Brown. So anybody worth their weight that believes that A.J. Brown can help your quarterback and help their team, they're going to be in that business because the finances will dictate that's when a trade is more than likely going to happen, not the NFL draft. So, yeah, if you're the New England Patriots and you moved on from Stephon Diggs and you know you have a young quarterback on a rookie contract when it comes to Drake May and you're hoping that the offensive line is going to be better, you got Travion Henderson at running back, you got a decent crop of wide receivers, but you don't have that number one guy, in which you got exposed about that in the Super Bowl against Seattle defense where no one could separate. You got a separator when it comes to A.J. Brown. And he wants to separate from the Philadelphia Eagles, and they want to separate from him. So, yeah, a team like the Patriots or anybody else could be in the market for a number one wide receiver. That's going to make your young quarterback and your offense better and give them more of an identity. But I don't think that's going to happen, guys, until after June 1st.
Can we do something? Can we do something? Freddie already knows I'm working on my GoFundMe. Listen to me here.
I'm all ears.
I'm working on my GoFundMe here. I'm just trying to raise $43 million for the Eagles so that they could just pay out this A.J. Brown contract and trade him tomorrow so I don't have to hear about it anymore. It's just it's a little – I know it may be out the box to donate $43 million to a billionaire, but I think we can do it if we put our heads together. That's how much I do not want to hear about this anymore, and I do want him to get in that Patriots team because I do think with all of the drama, he still had 1,000 yards last year. While he was miserable and making everybody else miserable, he can still contribute, but I can't take this for 2 more months. My GoFundMe is going to go up $43 million so you can raise some money for A.J. Brown to get out of there immediately.
So what happens, David, if he doesn't? What happens if the asking price is too high?
Don't do this.
And Sean Mannion, the new OC, comes in and was like, listen, when I took this job, A.J. Brown was an Eagle, and if you can't get enough for him, I've got some new scheme that is really going to satisfy him. He's going to get the catches he wants. The production is going to be there. We want a Super Bowl with A.J. Brown. Talent like that just doesn't grow on trees. Let's just try to make it work one final time. You're not down with that?
You know what you sound like, Smalls?
What?
You know what you sound like?
What does she sound like?
If we just have this baby, it'll fix everything. That's what it sounds like. That's what it sounds like. You know what? We're going through our issues. It seems like, this baby's going to fix everything. That works 0.0% of the time. That's exactly what this sounds like.
You know what the irony of that is? They already had the baby. It was the Super Bowl, and that didn't work either.
Right.
Smalls, the best part about this is that my grandson Hamilton is watching us this morning down in North Carolina, my daughter Brianna. The fact that my grandson is seeing David Dennis Jr. meltdown on TV just made this whole morning for me what you were able to do to get him to do that in front of my grandson Hamilton. That made it worth it for me.
Oh, good morning, Hamilton. Thanks for hanging out with us.
Absolutely.
Is Hamilton going to school today, Freddie?
No, he is not feeling well, so he is home with my daughter. He just turned 11 months yesterday, so he's going to be 1.
Months.
I know, where did that time go? But the fact that he could see his grandpa laughing at David Dennis Jr. melting down just made this whole show for me right now. Made the whole show.
It did. Well, David, I feel for you because you're in
laughing at my pain right
you're in the middle of all the drama. You're just like, keep me out of it.
Keep me out the group chat. I get kicked out the unsportsmanlike group chat. I can't get kicked out the Giannis and A.J. Brown group chat. Like, what's going on?
Unfortunately, I think you're going to have to deal.
All right, out to the desert we go for NFL owners meetings, starting with the Chiefs. After suffering a season-ending ACL injury, Chiefs star Patrick Mahomes is back on the field and throwing. The 3-time Super Bowl champ posted this video of himself dropping back to pass on the 100th day since his knee surgery. Kansas City will need their MVP QB if they want to rebound from missing the playoffs. Here's head coach Andy Reid on Mahomes. It's new on SportsCenter.
He's doing good. it's hard to measure, are you ahead of schedule or not? I mean, who makes the schedule, right? So every player is different. I will tell you, though, I would never bet against him. He's always going to put in the time and effort, and always push it but within reason, so he doesn't take steps back. So far, it's all been positive.
All right, NFL reporter Jeff Darlington joins us now. We just heard from Coach Reid. Everything sounds positive when he's talking about Patrick Mahomes. However, Jeff, what more can you share about Mahomes getting ready for the season?
Well, we should clarify exactly what we're talking about when it comes to that timeline that Andy Reid is sort of implying Patrick Mahomes could shoot for. Mahomes has made clear he would like to play in week 1 of the regular season. Now, a lot of guys coming off of a torn ACL or LCL, of which Mahomes is doing right now, don't necessarily suffer the injury as late as Mahomes did the final game of that regular season. So it is a big challenge for him. But you see right here in these videos that he's already been posting to social media, he's already out there throwing passes, moving around, and he is saying that he will be ready by week 1 of the regular season. He understands that can change based on the recovery process, but Andy Reid making very clear, I would not bet against Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah, not a lot of people betting against Patrick Mahomes. Kansas City missed the playoffs last year for the first time since 2014. The word reset has been thrown around a lot with this Chiefs team. Jeff, how are they labeling this next season?
Andy Reid said you can call it a reset if you want. He is not doing that. He said this Chiefs team expects to make the playoffs every year, and certainly including this one. One thing you can kind of look at as a very weird silver lining when a season ends this abruptly is this is a team that was going to the Super Bowl consecutive years. They were making these deep playoff runs. They never really got a full offseason. Andy Reid pointing out that they've got extra time this year because they were off so much in that postseason by missing it. As a result, they've been able to focus more attention on the draft, on free agency, to try to better themselves, making very clear this is not a reset. This is absolutely about making the playoffs and potentially more in 2026.
All right, let's move over to the Steelers. Their new head coach, Mike McCarthy, spoke earlier today, and he was asked about Aaron Rodgers and his future. Take a listen. It's new on SportsCenter.
2006 was my first time doing this, and the first question was about a veteran quarterback, whether he was going to come back or not. So it's a big deja vu. But, yeah, I'm confident. But at the end of the day, it's a personal decision. I'm not going to really get into timelines. So we're in constant communication. Talked to him last night. So, I mean, we're in a good space, and we're just continue to work through it.
Did you tell him last night that you were going to get 50 questions about him?
No, I didn't. He says hello. So.
Look, we all know the timeline is fluid when it comes to Aaron Rodgers. Jeff, as of right now, where do things stand with Rodgers and the Steelers?
I think that Mike McCarthy laid it out very nicely. One other thing he pointed out, not only did he talk to him last night, he actually said that he talks to him every few days. So, like, taking that in mind, it does at least feel like there's some real potential that Aaron Rodgers will be under center for the Steelers this coming season. Again, as we know with Rodgers, he likes to take his time in the offseason to really make a decision. This was not something he anticipated. He had made clear at the beginning of last year that he signed a one-year deal with the Steelers for a reason, that it was going to be one and done. He also couldn't have projected that his former coach with the Patriots would be taking over for Mike Tomlin. So McCarthy saying he talks to him regularly. They will continue to talk, but I got to say, that is a very optimistic sign if you're a Steelers fan wondering about the fate of Aaron Rodgers right now.
Yeah, and you see Mason Rudolph and Will Howard, they're on the roster right now for this Steelers team, so we'll see what happens and what decision